McClunky! Welcome,
actually
everyone, to the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 7 discussion, the Season 1 finale. Today we're missing Connor, our regular positive guy, but instead we have Brutal Richard to replace him. The most aggressive one to replace the positive person on this team usually.
Well, I'm a very negative guy.
Hell yeah, it'll be a great combo right
Which
now.
Which is funny, because I think
chat is sensitive, so be nice.
And also
Richard's
thank you for following Eric Mindy. Eric Mind.
Hi, Eric.
Mind.
You're a lovely being. Thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate it.
Brutal dick for someone positive.
Brutal dick for someone positive. All right. So the episode starts.
Thanks, Jacob.
Boba and Fennec are in the exploded bar, and I actually thought for a second, folks, that we were going to see a corpse of Max Rebo to confirm that. Not gonna lie.
Nah, he's
Straight up
fine.
thought that
He'll
was
be
going to
back.
happen. Yeah, he's confirmed not there. And we would have totally seen his blue corpse. His, like, blue legs or something like that there.
Boba just crouches down.
You
Has a
will
whole
be missed,
moment.
Max.
It's kind of weird that there were zero corpses there in the first place.
Yeah, there was nothing there.
Yeah, that was a really effective bomb.
Yeah, they should use. They should try that. Like whatever the stormtroopers did to Beru and Uncle Owen, like, was very ineffective comparatively.
I think they just burnt them.
Like, I can't imagine that situation. Honestly, I've still had a hard time, like, thinking about that because that's the most brutal thing we've seen in Star Wars yet. Like, just suddenly, like, corpses like on the ground. You're like, what the fuck? What happened here?
All right.
Fire.
Then what happens?
Well, they decide to lock down in the ruins to show commitment to Mos Espa, I guess. Like, that's what the mods
I think
are
it's
trying to
like
say, at
we
least.
have the set. We should use the set. You know?
We blew up the sanctuary. We gotta see it more.
Yep, the Jabba's palace set is one room and the rest is CG, so they didn't use it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I get the whole thing. Like, yeah, we gotta make it that Mos Espa is like this important city, and we gotta not go back to our palace to show that, like, yeah, like we're part of this city. We make our stand here. But, like, at the same time, could someone go back and get the Slave One, maybe?
Yeah. Get your ship and everything. Like, get the goddamn Rancor early on.
How about we pre-prep this shit? Like, it felt very like, well, we got, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty much like, so we got 2 Mandalorians and Fennec. I think we're good.
I think we got this. We probably got this. And then they just got shafted the whole episode. Yeah.
The whole season.
Yeah. Oh boy, howdy. Yeah. No, don't. We'll get to there at the end of the whole thing. Probably when we can wrap up the whole episode and talk about the season. Holy.
I liked it.
Then Cad Bane goes to meet with the Pikes and the mayor and all that, and it's pretty much revealed that the Pikes were the ones that killed the Tuskens. And sure, like, I guess that was the easiest of all conclusions. Sure, but
It was a safe bet.
To me, the laziest. I mean, like, I think if anything, it would have been cooler if it actually had been the Bike Gang at that point, and they just pegged them against each other. At least that would have seemed like a smarter play.
Yeah, it's like, well, we got both of them. Took them both out, Tuskens and these guys.
But we just killed them and we did the work and stuff like that. And I'm like, but you should have just made them do the work in that capacity then. I don't know. It just seemed like a really weird choice, and especially just throw it in there at that point. Or I thought they were gonna say Cad Bane was the one that killed the Tuskens because he was obviously the professional for it.
Would have been cooler.
Would have been cooler. Would have definitely made a lot more sense and a lot more connective tissue to having Cad Bane suddenly show up in the show.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I love how he looks, especially in this episode. Like, they got a lot more like darker silhouettes, and his eyes were like a lot. I mean, that was my main complaint: his eyes not being squinty enough. But like, he looked a lot.
Everyone's
better
making complaints. Oh, he's too pale. It's like,
yeah,
bro,
I mean,
he's 80 years old.
He's aged. Like, I can accept like a blue tinge is gonna change that, and the fact that, like, if we're being honest, every time that an animated thing gets put into live action,
They always have something wrong.
Some
like
mass
Ahsoka.
sacrifices.
Yeah,
made.
something's gonna happen. Yeah.
People were like, "Oh, her fucking tassels aren't long enough." Whatever.
Whatever.
Come on.
Yeah, that I don't really care about. The thing that jogged me so much was this season with the Pikes in general, is the fact that, like, if you
They're
didn't
racist.
if you didn't know if they didn't say that they were Pikes, you could totally not think they work. You know what I mean? Like, they don't look like the animated version of Pikes at all.
And they're racist. That's the craziest part.
Wow, shocker in this universe.
I thought that Cad Bane's face was weird. Like, he had his whole mouth situation reminded me of like the captain from the intro of SpongeBob, where it's like a static face with just a weird moving mouth.
Yeah,
I think it's always like, there's always like a bit on the side. I like that though. I kind of like it made him look like it made him feel alien, if that makes sense.
True, he did.
Because like I haven't watched much of Clone Wars, so I don't know like how his
As hasn't really seen Star Wars. We've established this already.
We made a good joke about that during the episode. It was really good.
That's all. That's the jokes that's the only jokes they can make. I've never watched Star Wars.
Hello.
And
Captain.
No reason.
And like with that, I'm gonna like kill them in Civ.
Okay, noted for next episode.
Good luck, honestly, Kaz.
To be fair, how many times? Like I've made so many threats to AJ about how I'm gonna destroy the.
And you have nothing to back it up with.
Oh, you okay.
You have nothing. Your army is the weakest on the map right now.
Okay, you say that.
Anyway, let's not talk about that. We're talking about Pokemon.
So we get to the first part of the episode where I literally, when we watched this last night for the first time, I straight up paused this episode like I think 2 or 3 times to go to another tab and type in like, what the fuck is happening?
He turned on the Frozen like song, what the or fuck it all.
Fuck it all. Like, cause it was so weird. Suddenly seeing the X-Wing come in, I was like, oh no. Luke is coming, and he's gonna save the day, and it's gonna be Mando season 2, and I would have lost it. But they saved it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit.
one of the things I wrote in my notes.
Yeah. Like they saved it just by that. Like, yeah, you go, man.
Go ahead. I wrote Luke Skywalker is a fucking asshole.
He really is.
It's true.
Like always stealing the show.
He forced that poor baby to make a decision.
Yeah,
and then he threw him on a ship and was like, "Get out of here, kid! I'm not even gonna fly you to the planet."
Oh, you didn't choose this new thing that I just introduced you to? Oh, right? Get the fuck out of here,
Get the fuck out of here! I'm not even going with you, you idiot.
Yeah. You want to go back to your dad? Grow up, child.
Let me just put a baby on a spaceship.
I really feel like it's because it's like almost damage control, because they're like, wait a minute, if Grogu goes with Luke, that means that he'll die at that temple, so we can't have him stay there. And then, like,
we gotta sell toys.
Yeah, we gotta keep.
We don't want our boy
alive.
to have to see another massacre.
Yeah, like so he's just either that or he'll go back.
Really all Luke did is he went there, gave him trauma, then kicked him out.
Really? Yeah, exactly. He just said mean things to him. Yeah, Luke was just weirdly mean in this show sometimes. I don't know how I feel about it. But I honestly was thankful that we didn't see Luke, because man, if he showed up, I would have been like, don't you dare take over the situation right now.
Don't fuck this up.
If you show up, I know for a fact Boba is going to say less than 30 words in the show. That is pretty much
Instead, Luke's just like, oh, you don't know how to jump, you stupid. Now get out of here. What do you mean you don't know how to jump? You're a whole ass baby.
I think that's the funniest thing, though. Like how you would force pull him, but then like in this one, he's like he has a fucking strut in his walk.
Dude, the strut he does. Oh my god, I love it.
That was a good goddamn like puppet motion. They were proud of that because they did that like 3 times. That like big strut walk on. Zoom in dramatically on the baby as he walks.
But like gave him enough space so you could see that.
Like guys. Baby Yoda, he's now a badass. He's still a baby, but he's now a badass too.
I like that Kelly like actually acknowledged too that she's like, I hate your name. Like she was like, it's a bad name. I'm not gonna call you that. Everyone's gonna keep calling you Baby Yoda.
I've come to the realization that Din Djarin's never gonna see Grogu grow up.
Absolutely, yeah. No, he'll die long before that.
Yeah,
that's the other thing too. Is the fact that like he can just hang out with Mando for like 30 years. And then come back to this later and be like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay, why not? Be like, oh, Ray's...
Hey, Luke, so...
Master Ray, hello!
Yeah. So, Luke, I know your whole order was destroyed and everything, but I'm back now. I can help you out.
Yeah, I wonder if the Grogu thing's intentional. If, like, they introduce him to the current Star Wars as a baby, and then they just fast forward past the new movies, way past them, and then Grogu resets the Star Wars.
Here we are,
universe.
400 years in the future.
absolutely
Grogu
think
has his
that.
own Jedi Order.
I've been thinking that even not like crazy long in the future, like even 100. Even like a little bit farther than the sequel trilogy, we're just setting up a bunch of characters right now that can show up later, like Ezra's and Cal's and all these sort of things, are things that people would love to see in the New Order potentially. I think so.
Yeah, and they can have the new movie start off with a title crawl saying, somehow Grogu returned.
Yes, that would be hilarious. I would actually be okay with that.
I think Star Wars needs to have more jokes like that.
Yeah, they need to be more self-aware at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Said stupid shit like that in the first place.
But not like little penguin puppet jokes.
Hey,
I'm
I
done with
liked
those
the
jokes.
porgs. They were cool.
Get out.
The
Get
porgs
out.
are cute.
I have a porg pop. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh my goodness.
Like certain things
All right,
like
I'm
that.
outta here,
I
guys.
just don't have a problem with that kind of thing in these
Thanks for
things.
inviting me. I'm out of here.
It's been a great 17 minutes. But then he continues to do his traditional thing where he eats a gross thing on a planet. So he ate those.
I was alright. I don't know why you're so grossed out about
I
that
hate
one. That one's fine
I
to
hate
me,
worm
man.
things, man. I don't want to eat live worms. I find
Why,
that to
why
be-
did she just have those on deck? Like,
Yeah,
she just
she-
had those in her pocket?
She eats those. That's the weird thing too. See, there we go. It's not just him; it's her.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
her
a normal thing.
snackage.
You gotta get what you gotta get, man. They don't have water on this planet. They can't cultivate crops.
Gotta
The best they
eat
can
worms.
cultivate is water.
Ugh. So yeah,
Just
we got
a
Baby
couple
Yoda
worms
back.
in your pocket.
I
Eat that.
was almost so hopeful in this show that like maybe he would choose the lightsaber and we just wouldn't see him for a while again. Because I was like, please, man. But
You really think that
But we'd still
LucasArts
see
is
it.
gonna be like, look, we got this Baby Yoda. People love him. The toys are selling. Ship him off to Luke.
we'd still see him though, man. Like in other
Yeah.
aspects, like I just think it would have been a better idea to hold off on him for like 2 seasons of Mandalorian, maybe, and then bring him back. But I don't know. Like that's
Yeah. I had this hope that he was gonna like that like the choosing between the chainmail and the lightsaber was like a Luke test, and that Grogu was gonna return with both or some shit. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does
he
it
also
just
gave me his fucking lightsaber and starts waving it around.
It just feels so weird with the whole Luke choice in general, because Luke is just being such a dick about it,
He's
man.
an asshole. A total
Luke,
asshole.
Luke was being a real dick. It was weird.
People really
Yeah.
love the fact that Luke is in the show because of course they do, but I mean at the same time, I don't know, man. Luke is, especially at this point, he just seems so weird. Like he doesn't know what he's doing. There he is.
No, one
Yeah,
of the
we
Where's the
know,
baby?
and
There he
I
is.
was making a joke.
Where's the baby? I redeemed. Where's the baby?
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, no, I didn't want to see Luke at all. I was
Yeah.
hoping I wouldn't see him whatsoever.
Well, in general,
think-
I'd say, like even in those other 2 episodes, I remember being like, if we see Grogu or Luke in the show, I'm gonna be so
I know you were
mad.
like, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
I
I'm
was.
pretty
I don't mind
pissed about
Grogu. I don't mind Grogu. I don't mind I don't mind Mandalorian in this episode.
Yeah.
Or Din Djarin in this episode.
This was
but
a
like,
good amount of Mandalorian, you know, like not
I
a
think-
whole fucking episode about.
yeah, I think it actually would have been pretty funny to see Luke and Boba meet.
What?
Like, I don't know. I think that'd be
Boba?
interesting to
Yeah.
see. Sorry, Boba. Oh my
Boba
god.
Fett.
That's funny. Like I was thinking about it. It's like, am I gonna need to like think about like fix the way I say Boba around you guys and Boba around my brothers? Because I say Boba around them, and I have to say Boba around you
Well,
guys.
Because
Fix
Boba's
them.
the right
Me.
way to say it.
Fix
you
them.
can
But they
dude.
make-
fix them.
And but they
that
make
makes
fun of
me-
me when I say the way you guys are saying it.
I would
I hate
throw
it.
things
Boba,
at you
get
when
me
you
on
say
call
that.
with your brothers, and I'll
Yeah,
tell them
yeah.
that they're wrong.
Bring your brother in here. We're gonna fucking yell at him.
I will
Well,
cross
there's
the
three-
pond to fight you.
All 3 of them.
Hi,
I don't have
we're
you know
good
where
friends of Kaz, but what the fuck?
Yeah, honestly though, like
Richard-
to bring it back a little bit, like what you said there, AJ, I swear the intro to this episode, where it's like a flashback of the other shit, where it's like, and we got Mando with us, would have been all we needed, other than
Yeah.
the last 2 episodes. Like,
Yep.
holy crap, just cut out all that, give more time to Boba, because he needed the time, obviously, because I feel like the last episodes. We
2 episodes without Boba
develop
Fett
anything.
is kind of fucking bullshit.
It was
Yeah,
like
I mean,
no
the show
character
shouldn't have
development.
been called The Book of Boba Fett. It should have just been called Mandalorians, or
Yeah.
like Tatooine stories, or
Someone
anything
suggested
other
that like
than the
this
Book of
whole
Boba.
like Dave Filoni, John Favreau universe thing should have been called something like Age of whatever.
Ultron.
Yeah, whatever. But like age of like whatever thing we're in right now, you'd call it like the New Republic or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
and
right.
just see what that is,
Age of the
because
Republic,
we're jumping between so many things that are relevant to each other, but not to the stories themselves that we see.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like
That is kinda
Ahsoka
irking
didn't
me.
need to be in this show at all.
Yeah, like because like it makes me wonder about the Obi-Wan show. Like I hope that's a little bit more like concise.
I hope Darth Maul shows up.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, that'll be great.
I love that Ahsoka is just like, I'm a friend of the family. All right, deuces.
Yeah.
See ya.
And she's
Later.
out.
So I'll see you in my show in 2 years or whatever. It's like, okay, Disney, chill out.
Hey, I'm still here, guys. Anyway, so then we cut back to like a showdown between Cad Bane and
Well,
Boba Fett.
you missed that the mods are driving around looking at
Oh.
everyone else
Oh,
everyone in
God.
town with their mopeds.
Why didn't they die?
I hate them.
I
hate
think
them.
I would have been
They
okay
were.
with them dying in this episode. I would have been like,
I
all
would have
right.
been. They would have
I-
been much better if they didn't have their dumbass fucking mopeds.
I would have been okay with them dying and not the Gamorreans. When the Gamorreans died,
Mm.
I was
Oh.
actually like, God damn it! It was another moment that I
Right?
paused and I was
The
like,
Gamorreans were like real homies. Like,
Yeah.
they were
They
Yeah.
were there since the beginning. They were loyal.
they were
and
they
then,
were ride or die, literally.
Yep, and we lose them to keep these fucking cyberpunk losers.
Yeah, like they literally just don't feel like they belong.
But, yeah.
Honestly,
Like, what was I gonna say? I think, like I said, like they could cure world hunger IRL, and we'd still hate them.
we'd still hate these
Yeah.
moped people because they
fucking
just look
worst.
so weird. It just doesn't
Yeah.
fit.
When you first meet them too, they're like, oh, we can't afford to buy any water, but you know we got these tricked out mopeds though.
People
right?
are-
Sell a
Shiniest
moped,
things on
bro.
the Planet.
Yeah.
So like apparently that is just gonna be I don't know if this is a thing that's making it better, but like it's a reference apparently to like in the actual culture of those people back in the day where they would literally they would eat their cigarettes because they couldn't afford food because they were like always cleaning their mopeds and shit like that back in the day. It might be referencing that, but like
What the fuck?
But why?
I don't know because like they love to reference weird shit in Star Wars, but I'm like, hey, do that on
Sell a
Cor-
moped and get some food instead
Yeah,
of cigarettes.
do
To be fair,
on
that explains why
Coruscant.
they look so clean.
Do that on Coruscant.
That's why they
dude.
look so clean.
I just
I
Yeah.
mean, they would have fit, I think, on like Alderaan or
Yeah.
like Nar Shaddaa, but on Tatooine,
They would have
There's-
fit on
there's
Alderaan when it
plot
blew up too.
yeah, right. But I mean, you get the point. Though. Like, they don't belong on Tatooine. They look so strange there.
yeah, it looks too clean. It doesn't look like the locals kind of thing that the vibe they're
And
trying
it-
to go for.
If
Yeah.
I could just complain for I'm gonna nitpick because
for it.
I make Star Wars armor. They have zippers, and that is fucking forbidden in Star Wars.
Boom.
It was literally a note that they had. The costume designer for the prequels had a note that said straight up, no zippers. Zippers are not allowed. In all the costume clubs for Star Wars, no zippers. You can't have
Damn.
them. But these fuckers have like
Dave
full-on
Filoni
Hot
broke the
Topic
rules.
I mean, it looks
What
like
a
they
rule breaker.
just bought all their gear from the mall.
Mm.
They just went to Hot Topic and picked up a leather jacket.
It straight
dude.
up
Right.
does look like that. Like they looked very out of place.
Yeah.
It's so
It's just
strange.
like just the alternative crowd is the way I describe it. Like what you'd imagine like the stereotypical punk to look like, if that makes sense.
yeah,
I was expecting
I
more
can
like-
get that to a degree, but at the same
the vibe they
time,
gave
you know,
me.
like in this episode, one of the mods was like, "Oh, I grew up over on that side of Tatooine," and then of course I'm like, "Well, then how was it like the English sector of Tatooine? Because you're the only
Hmm.
one here with that accent."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would have liked some like I know this is shit that people apparently say they hate, but like I would have liked some maybe backstory hints about maybe the modern guy, like the rapper guy that I can't remember the name of right now.
Thundercat.
Thundercat, thank you. I would have liked some maybe references. Maybe he is from Coruscant or like what's Corellia even or some shit like that, where like they have these
Yeah.
more advanced things, and he brought it
Like
here
when,
and is doing
when they
it now
first
or
brought them
something,
up,
but-
they were like, "Oh, these guys take like old droid parts and like put them in their body." I was expecting like these old, rundown, dingy-looking like cyborg people. I was like,
Things
that
that fit
sounds
the
cool.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
no,
now we're gonna get like Dave Filoni's gonna be like, "Ah, shit! I gotta explain these fools. I gotta give them their own show."
That's the
Yeah.
thing that's weird too, though, is that like Dave Filoni is like in with these shows, like he has so much influence. So I'm always just like, how do you add all these and then be like, well, I'm making all these shows on the interim and I have to somehow explain all this. Why would you keep adding more and more shit to your pile at that point then?
Yeah.
I wonder if some of that was Robert Rodriguez's influence.
I would imagine so,
Yeah.
And I don't want to shit on Robert Rodriguez because I love the guy and he's like a really creative guy, but like I think that in some aspects the show could have been better on his
I'll shit on him right now.
Go for
Sharkborn Lava Girl was subpar.
That's a masterpiece. You can take that back. But yeah, then we get to Cad Bane finally arriving to talk to Boba. And he taunts him about killing Vanth and how the Pikes killed the Tuskens, revealing that to Boba. And he's like, but you already knew that, didn't you? And I was like, oh, okay, sure.
I guess.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention that they put Chrysanthemum in the Tusken Raider area, the Trandoshan area. And I was like, well, that's already a fucking move.
Yeah.
That's already a failure.
There was a 90% chance he was going to get jumped anyway.
Like, of course, like, that situation was going to go that way.
It's still an odd move for all the Trandoshans to be like, oh, there's a giant renowned gladiator Wookiee with a master rifle. Let's jump him with pocket knives.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly, right. Like
we got battle axe here, guys. Don't worry.
Like, what did they think was going to happen?
Like, it's just moments that take you out of like these kind of stories where like they feel really good, and then shit like that happens. You're like, oh, what is going on? Like, it's messy.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we brought war to Tatooine, and it's like, well, there's like 15 people tops in this war.
Yeah, there's like
not.
Yeah, the citizen thing is like there's like 20 people running around, like, and that's it.
The Rancor single-handedly finished the war.
Yeah, we'll get to that guy, but I liked the dynamic between Cad Bane and Boba, but like again with what we were talking about, with the fact that like. I know they're trying to imply that the battle between them in Clone Wars, which never was finished, happened with, like, the plate on his head or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, the way they talk and the way that everything is handled doesn't sound like anything happened, even. Like, they could have made reference to, like, oh, yeah, this is round two for us or something.
I definitely got the implication that they do have a history.
For sure. They talked about that. Like, and even Cad Bane was saying things like, I was your teacher. He was like, this is your final lesson. Whipping things like that out. But, like, other than that, like, just more, like, direct references to how similar this is to that situation, potentially.
And it's handled pretty poorly, too. Because, I mean, I imagine if you're not a mega Star Wars nerd, the whole time you're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think they said his name except for that one time in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really weird. Yeah, you bring that up, and that's one of my big things with this show, is it's just like, what are we doing?
This is a show for people that know Star Wars.
Yeah, apparently, and I love it.
This is
like,
awkward.
Wow.
Yeah,
even for people who love Star Wars, it's a little like, whoa.
I think Boba even said it to Din, where he goes, "Is Cad Bane with him?" And in my head, I'm like, Din should be like, "Who?"
Yeah, because like he's so unaware of everything, and apparently everyone is in Star Wars. Like, that's something that hit me like last season of Mando. When Boba just shows up and Din's like, I don't even know who you are. I'm like, does nobody like know the name Boba Fett anymore? Like, is that not like a
been a couple years, bro? They forgot about the whole Jedi Order who controlled the galaxy for centuries.
That's
after
true.
30 years.
That's true, but still, like, it's just so weird sometimes. Like Bo-Katan,
Boba's hyped up. He's supposed to be like the most famous bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Who, I guess, I don't know. Despite the fact that nobody even knows him, there's also the issue with Boba, I guess, forgetting how to do anything.
Yeah, like, that's a huge fault of the show in general, I'd say, is that, like, the Boba that we all know and love is, like, the action badass hero. He
does do a cool, like, crane kick with his, or, like, crane stance with his knee cannon.
He does do a bunch of badass stuff, but it's just never, like, he's always, like, behind, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to keep going on tangents when we're trying to do a recap. But, like, am I the only one that feels like this entire show was just Fennec Shand babysitting old man Boba?
To an extent, but then I would even say that it's both of them being, entirely incapable and other things happening. Cause, like,
and then just Mandalorian.
Oh my god, we're jumping a little bit ahead when I say this, but when, like, she literally, when they were like, oh my god, go to the Mos Eisley place and kill the leadership, I was like, Why don't we open with that? Like, shouldn't that have been the fucking plan
Yeah,
for the
why didn't we
beginning?
go to Maz Eisley and kill them there? Like,
Why not let Boba
This-
do that? It's
Yeah.
his show.
Yeah.
The way this felt to me was like they were trying to do Game of Thrones in a lot of ways, and but it was too.
they had a
small.
dragon.
And
Yeah,
Like-
it did feel like they wanted more like kind of
Yeah.
political intrigue, and they
Mm.
just
like
flopped.
I described it as like almost like The Godfather.
Part
Like
three.
they were trying to go for The Godfather with like a lot of the early stuff with this the series,
Yeah.
and like this felt like that bit in like I think Godfather 2 where like all the at the end of The Godfather where like all the plays are happening, but like on the reverse side where Boba's getting fucked over instead.
Who?
We're Bubba.
Sorry.
Hey
Mr.
there,
Fett.
Bubba.
I did
Mr.
like
Mr.
that.
Fett.
I did like that Cad was kind of getting under Boba's skin, and like it was kind of
Mm.
alluding to the fact that he had like I want to see that relationship being built in Bad Batch or something like that more so now. Like it would be cool, but
Yeah.
it's also like it's a huge complaint in general that I'd have about even including Cad in this. Like I always just like the idea of him dying in the Clone Wars era, where it's like yeah he symbolically dies at the end of that era, like an old Western character that he is representing. Like that was kind of
Yeah.
like the message. So him dying now is kind of weird. Like I don't know, but
In a stupid way.
in a really we're jumping ahead again, but in a really lackluster, dumb way. So I don't know, but they could have put him in the
U-turn.
Bacta. They could have put him in the Bacta.
Why would they?
Because maybe he's gonna be better. Like I think that's Boba's whole thing is that he's like, yeah, you can be better, bro. And apparently,
Yeah,
not.
I mean, Cad's a shithead, but he's not evil. He's just a bounty hunter.
Anyway, so
yeah, I don't know.
then after that they have the Pikes come in, or no, the whole everyone gets jumped.
Yeah, which was obvious also that was gonna happen in general. Like just that those.
Well, they all turned on them. The
Boba's
Gamorreans
like-
died. Chrysanthemum gets fucking pile drived by 100 Trandoshans.
Boba 2 episodes ago was like, oh yeah, they won't be stupid enough to like, not go with us. And then they're like obviously going with them right away. It's like, what the fuck was the point of that even then? I would have been
Yeah.
like way more pleased if they'd put some sneaky shit on those people that they invited over to sneak on them too, to know that they were doing something. I just would have loved a double cross or something like that.
Yeah, they could have done that for like they could have had a whole episode about that.
But we got Mando.
We got Mando.
Yeah, and then Fennec zips off to finally go kill the people that were in charge of this whole thing. I did like her line that she said to the mods, because the mod was like, "Thank you." And she's like, "Manners." I like it. I like that they're showing that they're like better people. Like they're gonna be a better.
I want Ming-Na Wen to talk to me like that.
That's what, when we see her at Fan Expo this weekend, we'll be like, "Hey, manners."
Use your
I like
manners.
it.
Yeah, can you ask me? Can you tell me I have good manners?
Oh God, don't say it like that.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
then-
creep her out. I swear.
Then the Pikes swarm the front, and I like that Boba and Mando are pretty broly, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like the fact that Boba was giving Mando like an out. Like, dude, if you want to leave, I get it. Like we're
I
pretty
like
much
how
gonna
Mando
die.
was even like, you really like because he was like, it's part of the creed, and he's like, you really actually like listen to that shit, like
Yeah.
you pay attention to that. You're religious. That's weird.
And then, but it was
Yeah.
so nice because like then he was like, yeah, I do, and he's like, good. I liked that so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Like those
That little
moments
bit of
between the
dialogue
characters.
was probably one of the coolest parts of the entire episode, if not the entire season. Just
I
seeing
like
those
just
two
seeing-
actually interact.
Yeah. Just like
Yeah.
the subtle things, like even that one episode when like he was invited and he was like, nah, like it's on the house because they're bros, like they don't need to.
Two
to worry about
Mandalorians taking on the Pikes and winning.
Yeah,
Like-
and at this point too, they're both sort of like outcasts.
Yeah.
that. Absolutely, yeah, because like Din just got literally kicked out of his like cult, so
Yeah.
see ya.
I mean, not a huge loss, really.
I think that the armorer is straight up. She knows that he's gonna become Mandalore, and she's just like guiding him in the way to do it. Like even giving him the task of re-atoning or whatever is her like being like, if you can do this, you are absolutely worthy, and I will follow you as Mandalore. Like
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see that in, Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah. And then,
And then
they both. Yeah, he goes like, "This is the way," and then right before they rush out there in a blaze of glory, the Twi'lek, who's honestly also been one of my standout characters. The way this guy acts, like so smarmy and scuzzy, is so good. I want him to be Boba's Bib Fortuna going.
I want him to be, have his own show.
Did this guy get a name
and,
even?
Give him like a talk show.
Yeah.
So Boba, baby. Yeah.
I think he was just the Major's Major Domo or some shit like that. Like, I don't think he got a name.
I love when he's talking about going to college, and he's like, "Not that my parents were rich, and not that we're any better than you because of this, but."
Yeah, like just how he would like go on like little.
He's like, I went to college on Coruscant.
Yeah.
The best scene of the show, the whole episode happens with the two of them zipping around.
Yeah, because like he comes out and he gives them like the orders and shit like that, and I like how he's slowly reading like, oh shit, like
nothing.
Ew. Good distraction though. Yeah, good distraction for Boba to come out very slowly in the shot. I'd say like it didn't. I loved it in premise. Like when they did the wide shot of it, it looked really good. But the first shot when Boba's like coming out, I was like, "What is going on?"
That's just the perspective. It looks faster from far away.
Everything in most Espa is slow. I think that everything there is going at like
It's just
half speed.
everything
keep
is
up with
just
those mopeds.
Like I can't
It's a,
understand like that speeder, the mopeds, everything is going like 1 mile an hour, and it just like
It's really bad. Like, ugh, I don't like it. I hate those mopeds. Get better vehicles.
Yeah, I liked even in the scene that like Boba whenever Boba would go down, like Mando would pick up the slack and like start kicking ass, and then respectively that happened. For each of them until they both unloaded on one guy falling down, and then got taken down because of it, because they were focused on one guy for too long.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but that entire scene. I'm watching it, and I'm just like, why did you guys land?
Yeah,
why
keep
not
flying.
Just
what are
stay
you doing?
in the air? You
Maybe
guys
they
were
don't have the
kicking
fuel.
ass.
Just stay on
they did it again.
But go onto a building or something, man. Like
What kind of fuel does that shit
flies
use?
away.
keep the high ground. Not to
Right? If we
Horrible high ground.
and then like okay, so they show clearly they have enough fuel to fly around because Boba fucks right off back to Jabba's palace.
Yeah, how much fuel does
then
that shit have? Like,
when he
what
when
fuel
he
does
comes
it use?
back with a Rancor, cool. But I couldn't help but think that whole scene, like, you guys have ships.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, spaceships fly in here and blast the
Why
shit.
wouldn't you bring the Slave One? Like I
Right,
don't
Boba Fett's
get
ship,
it.
spaceship.
Sorry, the fire spray gunner.
Yep.
No, it's the
Can't
Slave
call it
One.
that
I'm
now.
gonna keep saying Slave One.
But
I mean, they showed us in like one of the second episode or something that he can fly it like really low to the ground and blast shit to hell. Why
Yeah.
not just do that?
he did that with the fucking bikers.
Right?
People were
why
saying
on
like,
earth?
oh, he didn't want to destroy the city with the collateral damage of that. I'm like, he ran
He
around with a Rancor destroying rooftops, dude. What do you mean?
Speaking of which, like those giant fucking super droidicas come in.
Oh my god, yeah. Like the people of Freetown come in and like save them a little bit, and then, oh, again we got a problem, and these super jack droids show up, like droids that I'm always like, why don't these show up anywhere else if they're so powerful? Like,
Yeah.
holy crap.
Why weren't these in the damn Gungan War?
These were demolishing things. Like,
They would've
to be
smoked
fair,
the Gungans.
like Boba and Din were like literally like standing in front of it having a conversation at one point, but like they were pretty
Yeah.
intimidating. I'm not
If you're
gonna lie.
close, like I said, watching it, I think they're just like really effective from a range. Up close,
Yeah.
they're pretty useless.
Like when 20 of the civilians are running away, like none of them are dying. I just want to
Yeah.
point that out. I don't think I
Yeah,
saw a
really.
single person die from those like that.
Nope.
They're like following them. There's like 30 people ahead of them. Nothing. You're shooting.
These things suck at aiming. That's
They're
like,
intimidating and they're hard to kill, but like they can't kill you. So I mean, what's the deal?
just stand in front of it. That's the safest place.
Speaking of the Rancor, I don't know if they made any kind of references to this, but is that Rancor supposed to be Mochi?
Oh, thank you for
We
bringing
were
that
thinking
up. See,
that.
Like, yeah, we were wondering if that's supposed to be Mochi or whatever, but I think they say him.
What does that mean?
Okay, yeah. So someone doesn't watch Star Wars.
Well,
So in the Bad Batch, the Bad Batch is hired to get another Rancor. It's a lot smaller, but I think it's female. I think they make that statement.
No, it was a guy. I'm pretty sure it was a him.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right, then it totally could be.
Is Mochi a guy? Mochi is from.
That's what I'm saying.
Mochi was
Mochi
from
female.
Bad Batch.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think Mochi was female then.
Yeah. So it's not Mochi.
Yeah. That's I was saying originally that one was, was female. Yeah. Because I think they specify, for sure in this one that it is male. So.
But for Kaz, Mochi is from the Bad Batch. It was like a young Rancor. Which one makes sense because they're like, oh, the first thing the sees it attaches to, and Mochi's already seen 5 dudes, so.
True.
But maybe she saw
she
saw Bib or something like that, and that's why Bib is like, hey.
Would have been cooler if it was Mochi.
Yeah.
That would be.
A lot of things like that where I'm like, what
Mochi
the
just
hell?
pops up and then fucking vanishes.
Well, Boba on the Rancor was cool as shit, but also dumb, because he shows up with the Rancor and then he shoots at the big droid, and it's like, you know that doesn't work, man.
You know that's doing nothing. You're shooting like twice per minute, and you have no point. You have no point in doing that.
And then he wrecks shit with the Rancor, and then 10 seconds later, the mods are like, "Oh, the Rancor's on the loose. Let's shoot at it."
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you know that's the pet, right? How about you just don't shoot it and make it more pissed? Like, God damn.
Yeah, even Din was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I did like earlier, by the way, Chrysanthemum, when he came around the corner and was almost shot to shit, Boba goes out and saves his ass and says maybe one of the best and nicest lines in the whole show, where he's just like, I owe you a nice long soak in my back to tank. So.
Yeah, I got a back to tank for you back at the crib.
Want to have a soak in the Polynesian spa?
And then he doesn't give it to him.
Well, he did.
I think he does.
It was like in the interim of that, because then they saved that for somebody else, which I was like, okay, weird, but okay, sure.
And then
they show in that scene too that he's what's the Wookiee's name? Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum, yeah.
Yeah. So they show him like limping before Boba saves him, and then in the next
then he
scene,
runs.
He's like full sprint.
To be fair, we've seen Chrysanthemum run, and
he ran through the whole desert. He's a runner. He's a track star. And then like the Rancor does a backhand to one of the droids and throws into a building. I thought that's the coolest shot. I loved it.
The Rancor versus the big droidecas was cool as shit.
But
it was
like
straight up like kaiju stuff at that point.
Yeah, bro, just stop throwing it. Just rip it apart.
I'm almost positive too when the Rancor shows up over the building, the music hits this sort of synthesizer swell that I think was supposed to be a nod to Godzilla because it sounded just like Godzilla roar.
And like everyone's like reaction to seeing the Rancor save them, they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
I really like my thing with the Rancor is, they showed it in the one scene and they were like, "Oh, he's gonna train with it," and then he doesn't fucking train with it in the show. Instead, we got 2 episodes of Mando when we could have actually had
We could have had an episode of him doing stuff with the fucking Rancor.
I would have taken a bottle fucking episode of him in that pit with the Rancor, just dealing with that. Like, are we...
Yeah, or like a post-credit scene.
Just
anything.
Something to show that he's actually been training with this thing, because now it's just like, yeah, he's got it. And it's like, okay, everything can just be had, sure.
Yeah.
People are going to complain about that, people aren't going to complain about that, but then they're going to complain about the fucking, like, sequel trilogy stuff where people just get force powers, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but you gotta complain about both then, because that second one, I've seen too many people being hyped when they're also mad about the other thing. Like, it's ridiculous to me. You gotta earn things. Like, it should be everywhere. You can't just say, oh, cool, a Rancor, and then just have it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's all member berries, man.
That's what it is, yeah.
Remember Rancors? Remember Yoda's lightsaber?
That already was so weird. Like, I was like, boy, they're gonna have a field time or a field day fucking explaining that in the comics. I guarantee it. They're gonna be,
comic creators are like just.
I literally looked it up in the fucking Age of Rebellion comic book for Yoda's arc. He literally says, "Oh, if I had a fucking lightsaber right now, that'd be really helpful." Oops. Guess we don't care about canon anymore.
Oh yeah, it's kind of a mess. Like I think part of the reason why this whole show is so odd and so weirdly disappointing to me is that all of the material for Boba being a badass was already there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they just shit all like, where's my boy Dengar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the other thing
Where's-
too. I was like, man, I
Where's
get
Bosk?
that. Cool that Cad Bane is here, but like, can we acknowledge that there are other bounty hunters that are like associated with Boba Fett at this point? Like, come on.
Like Chrysanthemum, but they never say that.
Yeah, really. I love. Yeah, in the comics, Chrysanthemum and Boba Fett literally show up on the fucking panel for the first time together, and they act like they've never met. And I'm like, okay, cool, it's fine, it's cool.
Like a nod, just being like, "Nice to have you back," or some shit like that. Anything.
They're like, nice to see you again. Like any fucking thing. But yeah, like even throwing Cad Bane in as quickly as they did makes me think they won't do that, because Cad Bane to me was like the ultimate. So anything next would be like, hey, Bosk showed up. I guess that's cool. I don't know.
Chrysanthemum fights Bosk and rips him.
I think our idea about Bosk showing up and him and Chrysanthemum throwing down was way better than what happened. So,
Yeah.
That would have been so much cooler.
like, because that actually was sort of being set up, the fact that they were Trandoshan enemies, and it was like, oh,
Oh, is
You know
Bosk gonna
Trandoshan.
be there?
Can you
Nope.
imagine seeing? Can you imagine if Cad Bane would have actually participated in the big battle instead of just walking out of a corner like the final boss?
Mm.
Yeah.
It would have
Yeah.
been a slaughter if he actually participated.
Scaring the Rancor away and then fighting Boba Fett.
Yeah, we found the Rancor's fucking fear. It's fire. Like, nobody tried that in the goddamn Star Wars universe before.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh,
Well, it was fire for 6 seconds, and then it
He
wasn't
went to
fire.
fork knife.
God damn it, Kaz. Why'd you go to fucking
Kaz.
Fortnite?
He went to fork knife, Gav. What the hell?
Actually, clicked fork knife.
Good
I
job.
was making sure the Rancor Blaster 3000.
Yeah, like, I have specifically got fire that makes a bad smell to Rancors.
Yeah,
Or
and-
silk.
Like I said, when you
Shin-
stepped
Shin
out,
tried
oh, and
The
here's the
Rancor's just
Rancor
like, no
destroyer.
thanks. The Rancor was just like
What?
it didn't give a shit about Din's fire, but Cad's was the spooky one.
That's true. I didn't even realize that.
Yep,
Whoa.
stupid.
That's really dumb. What
Yeah.
the hell?
Really dumb.
Oh my god. Okay.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Just now, because yeah, fucking Richard just brought up, like, Din literally flamethrowers the Rancor in the mouth later on, and it doesn't react at all. But the fucking Cad Bane flamethrower was like, ah!
Well, it does react. It throws Din.
I
Yeah,
guess
well, it
throws
even
but, like,
looks at Din like, "Hey, dummy, I'm a Rancor. Fire doesn't work on me, stupid."
and then,
Even
yeah,
though
cut-
it clearly
I-
just did.
I live on Tatooine, asshole.
And then it tries to nom on Din, and like, I don't know. I get the Beskar thing, even though the lore on Beskarum is completely inconsistent nonsense.
At
But,
this
like,
point, they've changed it to be the fact that it's adamantium, like it's indestructible.
It is the
bonkers.
strongest, most indestructible thing in Star Wars, apparently.
Like, I feel like if a Rancor bit down on a Beskar helmet, you'd be dead.
Except for a single blaster
Yeah.
bolt from Cad Bane.
That was like, yeah, when you went for the bomb, like, ooh.
Right? It's
But then, like,
bro,
even like you didn't even
yeah.
see any scratches on the helmet.
Yeah, and so here's one of my problems. So to begin with, Django's armor, which I suppose is what Boba's wearing now, even though that's not how it used to be. Django's armor previously was not made of Beskar; it was made of Durasteel.
Durasteel, yeah.
And now I guess it's Beskar, and they're showing in the shootout that like bullets or the lasers are deflecting off of both Din and Boba. But they showed in the Mandalorian that like the other Mandos are struggling with getting shot at. They made a whole scene of it where Din runs out and he tanks all the laser fire, and they're like, "Oh, cool, you can do that." But I guess Boba can do that too.
I think
don't
that
know.
like the idea behind that is going to have to be something. They're going to have to introduce the whole thing about the integrity of the armor over the course of like generations or something like that. Like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
something. But the fact that maybe it's the fact that Din's is so freshly forged that it's like good. But yeah,
Yeah.
You're right that they show that even Boba's is still like kicking ass.
Well, yeah, because like I guess they did show that in season 1 of Mandalorian where he had to get new armor because his others was just trashed.
But yeah,
Right.
that's because that one was literally fucked. Like,
Yeah.
and
not
then,
even-
like Bo-Katan and Axe Woves and I can't remember the other girl.
Costa Reeves or something like that.
Costa Reeves, yeah. They show when they're getting shot at, like, we can't get shot. If we get shot, we're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So their armor isn't on par with Din's, but Boba's still deflecting lasers like it's nothing. And I guess it just kind of hurts them a little. It was kind of strange to me.
Very inconsistent for sure, yeah. And it's definitely going to be one of those things that we pick at a lot. Like, it's like, honestly, like, I remember season 1 of Mando for me was very much like me pointing out things, being like, how the fuck does that work? Like, my big thing is the tracking fobs. I still am like, what the fuck does that even imply? Like, that everyone has, like, a tracking thing in them? And that, like, why doesn't the Empire then just track everyone that they hate that way? What the fuck are we doing? I don't know.
Maybe as criminals or something only.
Maybe. Oh, and then we forgot, Peli shows up in the fastest vehicle in all of Mos Espa, which is the goddamn droid cart thing. That thing was actually going at a rate that I was like, how is this?
It was going so fast it ripped its own head off.
The car chase. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, he was supposed to, I was confused by that. I thought that was Baby Yoda forcing the head off for no reason, other than to be a little shitbag in that moment. But
I love that she turns the corner and she's like, "Oh, Mando, I got a baby for you. What's going on over here?" Like, you don't hear this?
You don't hear the fucking blaster and giant droid summon towards us?
It's like a giant tank woman. What are you doing here? Get out! It was a very sweet moment, I will say. Like, the fact that Baby Yoda, like, jumped towards Din, like, literally, like, like 3 feet was so cute. But, like,
yeah, it warmed my cranky old heart for just long enough to accept the rest of the bullshit.
Yeah. It was like, oh, like, this is nice, but what the hell is going on in the show? Also, okay, yeah, so then Grogu shows up and pretty much, again, like, always saves the day, of course. Like, that's just what this character's plot device is, that he shows up when shit's getting too hectic. And then Force pulls away. I was confused here also. Was he force pulling that specifically because he wanted a toy to play with, or was he trying to help?
I think it might have been toy, or both.
Yeah, like, because he grabbed it and he was like, yeah! And it was like, oh, okay, sure, thanks for the help, buddy, but...
Ripping off a bolt from a giant droidica leg.
I thought for a minute that he was donezo. When that thing hit him, I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, fucking knocked him out. He's out for at least 3 days.
Concussions.
Next,
you got a bruised little Grogu.
Next b-ball superstar. Well, not basketball. What's the word?
Baseball.
Baseball. That's the sport. Thanks.
But it wasn't even like Boba and the Rancor like that killed the droid. It had to be Mando going in and, like, I guess maybe he did destroy it. He crushed it, I think, afterwards. But just even the fact that Din had to go in with the Darksaber after that and, like, slice away at it, I was like, can we just give this to Boba, please?
Well, Boba killed one and with the Rancor.
I thought he was gonna get the Darksaber, and then, like, he actually, like, fucking killed with it. Was what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for, like, an Avengers style thing where, like, Boba and Din are, like, tossing the Darksaber back and forth, like doing cool stuff.
Yeah,
instead of just, like,
Din isn't skilled enough to use it by himself. You really think he's gonna let someone else use it?
That's another weird thing. Is like, why is the Darksaber heavy?
Well, they actually do that in, like, Rebels, where they talk about, like, oh, it's weirdly heavy for me. And it's like, because you're not using it right. You need to, like, you need to use it correctly, or else.
Well, Sabine was also she was getting training from Kanan and stuff like that too. So
yeah, she was actually getting helpful, like, lightsaber training, so she wields it better. But
I'd like to think that maybe, yeah, like, even in things like Empire Strikes Back, when Han, like, turns on Luke's lightsaber, I feel like that was probably pretty awkward for him. You know, like, I don't think it's, like, an easy weapon for, like, a normal person to use. So Din has to work probably, like, harder at it to use the Darksaber than a person who's not Force sensitive would be.
Yeah. Is that a deleted scene from the from Empire, or has it just been so long since I watched
No. I'm not saying deleted. I'm just saying that a scene where a non-Force user uses a lightsaber.
No, because I can't remember, like, that scene. Like, it's been
when he cuts open the tauntaun.
Sorry, yeah.
Tauntaun,
yeah, and then he. Okay. It's not a long time. I'm just saying it's like an awkward little.
Yeah, no. Because I'm saying, because, like, I couldn't remember that scene. I was thinking, was it a deleted scene or something? But, like. It's just
Han Solo picks it up and he fights off a couple people with it.
Yeah, Kaz, it's understandable. You've never seen Star Wars, so I mean,
shut your fucking full mouth.
You would know what's a deleted scene and what's not. So
you're a little bitch, is what you
Yeah, and then like AJ said, it's his favorite shot in the whole episode probably, but when the fucking Rancor like smashed through the wall and got the other droid into the wall, like that was probably the highlight for
It was
the
a
Rancor
cool
for me.
scene.
That was up there.
And then he like stomps and like jumps towards it.
I like how like it like they choreographed it almost like it was like a wrestling, like just a scene from a wrestling like
Somebody
show, I
make
guess.
them stop! Somebody
Like,
call
he,
the ref!
Like he just tosses it around as like a few points. I'm like, oh,
That
that's
droid
really cool.
had a family.
Don't even say that to me, Kaz. That, what you just said.
Mako. What?
That like the tossing around shit, because like that actually irks me in that show. Because
Did it?
I hate in kaiju movies or anything when instead of doing an actual like attack, we're just like and throw, and I'm like that.
I know, like you were saying, like why don't they rip it? I mean, to be
Like,
fair,
if you see like real animals fighting, they go fucking ape shit on
Just
each other.
fucking
Like,
smash, man! Like I was like Rancor smash, just hit the damn thing. Like what are you doing?
no, yeah,
throwing?
like I get it, but to say, like, I mean, if someone threw me at a concrete wall, my head would fucking get like flattened.
yeah, but this
Like,
is a
I mean,
fucking robot.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So like, I can understand the Rancor's like mind being like, oh yeah, its head's gonna break.
Yeah, but like,
do
I don't
this.
think
Okay,
that'll be like his
Hulk
first
this shit.
instinct to. I don't think that'll be his first instinct to just huck it. Like watching like gorillas fight, they just go fucking wailing on each other, dude. They don't let up.
I always will think about that part in Avengers when when Hulk grabs Loki and just fucking
And
like
he's like-
goes ham on that guy. And,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Rancor, grab the droid by the leg and just start smashing. Like, just do anything at this point.
Yeah. Not to
Grab
mention
one
that
droid
if,
and beat the other droid to
Yeah.
death with it.
Something
I
like
feel
that.
like if a Rancor picked up a dude and threw that dude into a wall, that dude would turn into just red putty.
oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
He
sure.
wouldn't be like, oof.
Like that
I'm
one guy he
popping out
did
now.
throw. He picked up a guy, Boba shot him, and they threw him, which is
Oh, yeah.
Boba shooting him was kind of useless.
I gotta point out also, yeah, that was weird because specifically what they did with the editing, he shot him, then the Rancor threw him, and then you heard a Wilhelm scream, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? What the
I didn't hear that.
He went,
Like, I
think, like,
No, like
I assumed the Rancor was just like, oh, here, Dad, have this.
Like if Boba, even if that guy, like if Boba didn't shoot him and that guy somehow survived being hucked by a Rancor, I'm sure he would get up and be like, "I'm fucking out of here, man.
yeah.
Yeah. The Rancor did throw
I'm
that
done
one
with this
dude.
shit."
He did throw that one dude like into orbit, and I feel like that's what the Rancor would have been doing with all of these guys. Like this thing is strong enough to rip a massive droid like this to shreds, but it's only just like bopping these little dudes.
Yeah, and literally
Like, come
everyone around it, that like, every time that people were hiding from it, I'm like, go into the buildings or something. Like, why are you just hiding behind a
Stop
table,
behind the
dude?
tables.
Oh
Like,
Jesus! You gotta get out of here!
Like, of course the goddamn Rancor's coming after you. It sees you, you idiot. Go away from it. Hate
Jacob
that.
brings up a good point. When Darth Vader killed Boba Fett, that was kind of
Bro, that
kind
was
of
the
Yeah.
most dramatic moment in all of Star Wars.
I can't believe they brought in Darth Vader back from the dead just for this one
It
scene.
was when the Mick that Baby Yoda died. Well, that's an interesting
Yeah,
take,
yeah.
Jacob. But
I did think that shit, I lost.
When the
I didn't- I
Mick
didn't-
Bang, the baby Yoda. What the fuck is he saying here?
just ignore him.
My favorite
Being a
moment
real
was
person.
the Mick Bang that baby Yoda did. Oh,
right when
the
when
mukbang.
the lady mod, I don't know if they even gave her a name.
they did.
They
I
did.
can't remember
They
what
did.
it was.
Yeah, fucking forgettable characters.
Yep.
But when
That's not me.
when she was saying like, you know, we can't run anymore, and the dude's like the guy from Freetown, and he's
Yeah,
like,
the-
oh, we
the
gotta
weak
get
one.
out of here, dude. We gotta fucking go. We gotta get out of here. That's a Rancor. There's massive tank droids, and she's like, we can't go back that way. That's I know where that we'll destroy everything. And he's like, what do we do? And she's like, we fight. And I'm over here like, you tried.
All right, good
can't-
luck,
you
bye.
can't-
Yeah, it's not
Just
working
run away.
out. Like, we just gotta
You guys
keep...
gotta go.
At this point, we got a fucking Rancor coming in. Like, god damn it, people.
Or when Boba looks to Din and he's like, I gotta go get reinforcements. Can you hold it down for a minute? And Din's like, I fucking guess.
Yeah, where are you going? It comes back with a Rancor. I'm like, okay, like, cool that it's a Rancor, but the Slave One also would help here. Like, I wish
How much cooler would this have been if he just dropped a seismic charge on this?
Yeah!
Oh,
I was waiting for another seismic charge because the one that we got in the season was pretty good
But
already.
they can't because they'll destroy some buildings. Instead, let's use a Rancor and destroy more
buildings.
I was about to argue that, and then realized, well, he should have thought about it when he brought the Rancor.
Some free real estate now. We got some.
Exactly. He didn't give a shit when you think
Or
about
put
it.
our new palace where these buildings we destroyed were.
Alright. So either Boba was an idiot, or he just.
Well,
he's
as
stupid
we've
as
seen,
shit.
as we've seen in the show, remember episode 1 when he was like, Fennec, alive, after fucking blowing up the person to his left. Like, I was like, you had somebody right there. Like, you literally...
Fennec, don't kill them, I swear to God.
Fennec's like, bro, lead by example, maybe. Like, I don't
Did you forget that my title is Master Assassin? Like,
kinda
that's
have
her
a
whole
purpose.
thing. I
damn.
felt like the show was like really confusing tonally because it's like it starts off Boba is clearly on this sort of like path of redemption and he wants to lead with respect and other bullshit that doesn't matter. And then the end, you know, Cad Bane is like, I always knew you were a killer. And clearly Boba has given up on keeping the whole town from blowing up. So it's like, you know, what are we supposed to be seeing with Boba? Is this supposed to be him growing to like learn and love, or like are we supposed to think that he's still a killer on the inside? Like what is
fucking Boba
Yeah,
Fett.
'cause- okay, good. Perfect
That's
timing
the only
on
thing.
that.
That's
Perfect timing
This is
on that,
Boba
Richard,
Fett.
because literally, we were just getting to that, to like when Cad Bane says, what's your angle? And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm so excited that Boba is actually going to have the time to say something and make sense of what is happening in the show. And he doesn't even say anything relevant, really. Like, he doesn't say anything to give Cad an answer. And,
Nope.
and I'm like,
Did
what?
he even answer him? I don't think he did.
didn't say anything really to that question. Like, he just was like, I'm just doing this because this is my town. And I'm like, that is not an answer because this is not your town. Like, this is, you have nothing here. Like, oh my
You
god.
came
like,
here and you
the
just
T-
did
the
some
Tuskens,
shit and, like-
yeah, dude. You had to
his
do with the
planet was
Tuskens.
just. Well, I guess his planet wasn't destroyed. His planet is useless now. So
Are you, which
just
one are you talking
water.
about? Are you talking about Camino or are you talking about Mandalore?
Mino.
I mean, like, I don't think he gives a fuck about any of that shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. He doesn't have a place
So, but like, why
It's just-
Tatooine? I don't know.
He's trying to find his happy place.
because this is where he died.
I guess. Like, this is where I was reborn.
Yeah. I was birthed from the Sarlacc. What the
But
fuck,
I mean,
Boba?
is that what we're supposed to believe though? That like Boba's like reborn, he's a new character? Because you could argue that Boba starts off saying, "Let's make sure we don't blow the whole town up, guys. We got to play it cool." But then he does it anyway. So
Yeah.
you could argue that he just said, "Fuck that! I got to win this fight." So you know, how are we supposed to take Boba and his feelings on this stuff by the end of the show? I don't know, because all I can look at are Tamura's massively pearly white teeth. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like
He's smiling so much and having the mask off way too many times.
happy
in my
guy.
opinion, but-
it's his teeth are nuts, dude. I can't help but think that it was like in his contract, like I have to take off the helmet and I have to smile in every episode.
Like a bantha.
To be fair, I don't mind. He makes me happy seeing him.
He does make me happy. Like, specifically, I liked his facial expression in the episode of the Rancor, where like he
Yeah,
just looked like
my
a
brothers
nice,
were just
like,
watching that.
He's like
Yeah.
a dog owner that like loves their dog.
Yeah,
And I was
like-
like, that's nice, but like keep the mask on when you're out and about, please, because like it's you're
Boba
Boba
Fett
Fett.
not
Someone could
wanting
shoot you in the
Rancor.
head. To be
Boba
fair,
Fett after they get the Rancor.
like yeah, just you mind your own business. Someone shot you in the head, dead.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, because even the whole thing with killing Cad in that scene, like, if he had changed, then he probably wouldn't have killed him, and he would have been like, we're gonna figure it out in a different way.
Right.
So I don't know,
It's
like,
also weird to me that Cad is like, you've gone soft in your old age. Boba's 42. He's
Yeah,
not
that-
old.
Yeah, you're twice his age, bro.
yeah, like, Cad,
Right?
you're
Like,
fucking
Boba
old
at this
as hell.
point is 42 years old. He's still in the prime of his life. He's not an old man by any stretch of the imagination. It's kind of weird to me that they imply that he's much older than he is. I mean, I
think
get
that
that like,
that's
the
them trying to
Sarlacc
be
did its
like-
damage.
They're trying to be like, oh yeah, like Tamara Morrison's like an older actor, so like they're trying to reason with that, but it's like because people like us, people who pay attention, they're not the
Yeah.
majority, right? Like people think probably Boba is pretty old, but
Yeah,
but
like
when you're like,
my
"We saw him in
family
Attack
watching
of
it
the
is like,
Clones as a kid!"
oh, isn't Boba Fett the dude that Han Solo killed by accident? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
him.
he is. Damn it. As a super big Boba Fett fan, like for all my life, I have had to live with that comment so much.
But he didn't die.
My
You've been
cousins
redeemed, Sam.
hate Boba Fett. Like they're like, he's the worst. He died. He should have stayed dead. And I just love
You're
the guy.
telling me, man. You've seen my armor. I'm absorbed into this fucking culture, and
Yeah.
that's all I get from like I guess casual Star Wars fans is isn't Boba Fett that dude that was said like one thing?
What was it?
He said,
He
put
said
him in the cargo hold.
And what was it? Vader said no disintegrations, and I guess he was like, okay.
As you wish, he said, as you wish.
Yeah, as you wish, yeah.
And then
I would have liked it better if he was just like dope.
He's like, dope. He also says he's no good to me dead. That's what he
He's
says.
no good to me dead, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I mean, I love Tamura. I love seeing him in this, and I'm glad he came back for it. But it's definitely strange to see Boba portrayed as much older than he's really supposed to be.
And obviously, like, I feel like they're maybe leaning into that with how, like, he isn't capable to he doesn't do the Boba Fett things that Boba Fett does. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, he's not.
Yeah. Instead, we get to see him get tossed around a room in his underwear.
That was actually one of the better scenes. I'm not gonna lie, I did like that. Like when he's all
Yeah,
like,
it's him in his
reasons,
Polynesian spa multiple times.
yeah, like I like that the gaffy stick came to his aid. Like if we're gonna side tangent to like a general thing here with the whole season, I loved the beginning with the Tusken Raiders a lot. I thought that was a cool like avenue for this different version of Boba Fett.
We didn't get closure on the one that
She's dead. She's totally
I
dead.
know.
Like
She's
absolutely.
gotta be,
They're
but,
so
like-
stupid that they didn't even fucking show that properly. Like
The
honestly.
most badass Tusken Raider to ever exist.
Yeah, like they were. I was like, okay, they didn't show her; she's alive. But the fact that like nothing happened, she's dead. That's obviously what that means, and it hurts because you showed you showed the kid his stick, you showed the tribal
The
leader
leader.
guy. You didn't show her. Like she was literally his mentor in a way. Like
Yeah.
she was always there.
I wonder too because they didn't really, I guess, explain well enough, at least to me, exactly how long Boba was with them. Like, was it like a week or like years?
He said in the flashback with Fennec when they were over the Sarlacc, he says to her, "I was this is where I was trapped all those years ago." So it had to have been years that he was with the Tuskens. Again, that's exactly why I think that the flashbacks should have been throughout the entire season. I don't think they should have ended when they did because it added to the pacing issues, if anything, for me, where I was like, half the season I'm really into, like, because we're getting this cool information about what happened in that era, and we're also getting the now shit. But now, when the now shit comes, instead of doing the now shit, we jump over to Mando for no fucking reason. So,
Right, and then there were weird story beats too. Like, did the Hutts really need to even be there?
yeah, like the Hutts just showed up to be like, "Hey, Hutts are here, and we're cool, right?"
Yeah, Huts are here. You could have a
Remember
bye.
Hutts? I remember Hutts.
I remember.
Like, because that brings up the bigger scope question that we have literally asked every episode of this show. Is there a season 2? Like,
There's got to be.
I mean, I would
Well,
say
with
that
the
this-
after credits scene and Cobb Vanth.
but like, doesn't that just to you sometimes doesn't that almost just scream like, "Hey, Cobb Vanth is alive. Maybe you'll see him in like the fucking Mandalorian or some shit like that."
Yeah, well, he's no doubt to me going to end up being the new Cara Dune.
Oh, yeah.
She's gone, right?
Yeah,
I
she's
can't remember
gone.
her name, but she's
Sorry,
out.
Gina. You got
Yeah, so they need a new Marshall character, and there you go. You got Cobb Vanth, and I love Timothy Oliphant, but like, I don't want cyberpunk stuff here. It's
Yeah,
so
I hope they don't go
weird to me.
crazy with it
Yeah.
for him. Like he didn't
And,
get
like-
shot to shit. Like you got a shoulder shot. So I mean,
Right, and it just
Like maybe
it's
like a cool robot arm or something. But I wanted to fit his aesthetic, you know.
Yeah, I wanted to fit Star Wars aesthetic. I mean, the last thing that I wanted was for the entire season of the Book of Boba Fett to end with fucking drum and bass. Like, come on, this isn't Star Wars. That's how it ends. Is it shows Thundercat working on Cobb, and it's like,
yeah,
Bro.
I would even call that the final moment of the show. Like literally, what pissed me off so much is that the final shot of this show ends with the Mandalorian theme and Mando and Grogu flying off into space. Like, see you in Mando season 3, and I'm like, oh, you fucking
Like this should have. I think this all should have been, like, instead of being like the Boba Fett's like advertised the Boba Fett thing and like Mandalorian be advertised the Mandalorian thing. It should have been like just one show. I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like the
how
Age
Game of Thrones
of
did,
New
like,
Republic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I really think this whole show was just sort of like we need to kind of explain what Din's doing before Mando 3. So let's make a low budget Boba show that's mostly about Din.
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
And it's bad. I'm sorry. Like, that to me is so bad because I know people, I mean, Kaz, you're an example. People will watch this show and not have watched Mando, or they're not going to think to watch this show if they haven't, or if they have watched Mando, because maybe they just don't care about Boba Fett, which is an audience. I have seen that going around a lot where people are like, do we even need this Book of Boba Fett show? Because they don't like the character. And I'm like, I think we do, sure.
My biggest irk is the name.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, like, this, it has so much potential to make sense as, like, a character, but they just... Also, like, the fact that Din is Boba at this point. Like, they really just made Din the Boba, and now it's hard for him to fit.
So, Sam, the question is then, like, do you feel like this was worth being a whole ass show? Like, as a final product, from having... No, not like as in like a wood, like having seen it. Do you think this should have been done? If that makes sense.
I mean, not really. No. I mean, like, I personally would have been like, I don't even know how to word it, but I mean, like, I just personally would have been fine with this happening in the Mandalorian to some extent. Like, it would have been smaller scale, but I don't know.
I objectively hated this show. I hated it.
We're coming out with the hot takes here at the very end. I liked it.
I straight up did not like this show. I feel like they completely wasted the entire character of Boba Fett in favor of providing more characterization for the Mandalorian, who is 100% based on fucking Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And that's so frustrating to me. This whole thing is here because of Boba Fett. So we give Boba a show where he's a side character in his own show.
Yeah. Some guy shows up 40 years ago in a green armor. Then they decide to make whole history about him and his people. And now here we are.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that I was saying that. Yeah, like, it feels really weird that you're going to go... If they haven't watched the Book of Boba Fett, you're going to go from watching Mando Season 2, where Grogu leaves with Luke, and you're like, oh, that already, to me, by the way, back then, felt weird. I did not like that back then. Yeah. And... then you're going to jump into Season 3 of Mando, and it's like, Grogu's already there, he's like got a Naboo starfighter, and all these developments have happened, and you're like, what was the point of even...
Yeah, the casual viewer is just going to be like, who's this?
I think this all... Sorry, go on, Richard.
Go ahead, Cass.
I think, like, this should have all been, like, planned out, like, as a whole thing, like, having, like, if they wanted to do this weird cross... promotion series thing, then like if it was more planned out, it'd be fine. Like, because like as you mentioned, like the hut stuff, like was that necessary? Like I feel like there's a lot of stuff in Boba Fett that didn't make, like, wasn't worth putting in if like we knew this was going to be the final outcome.
Well, that's I don't know if that's because like the big
I feel like
the big criticism of the sequel trilogy is the fact that they had no plan, like nothing.
Yeah.
So going into these shows, I heard at least I heard that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni had they had a plan for Mando, and I was like, okay, that's exciting. I like that.
If they did.
And then season 2 of Mando happened, and I was just like, I don't know if there's a plan. Like, it doesn't really feel like there's an actual plan happening. It just feels like
it's almost. I think what their plan is almost like how like we plan D&D, in that like you have a skeleton plan, and then you just see what happens.
I would agree. I think they threw out season 1, and it was my favorite fucking Star Wars, other than Empire Strikes Back. It was literally amazing. And after that, they were like, all right, well, shit, what did people like? And we gotta, like, throw in
There's our plan. That was season 1, our entire plan.
Vanth, we gotta throw in every reference we can in that season, because holy fuck.
I mean, I think that their plan from the get-go was we need to find a way to fast forward past the new movies. So
I don't know.
All of this is just kind of let's make some cool characters to get Grogu in, and let's get Grogu to fast forward us a little bit so we can get past the shit that is the new movies. And then like when the inevitable like watch list for these shows comes out, like watch these episodes to like know what's going on, skip these episodes because they're filler. Book of Boba Fett, they're gonna be like, just watch the episodes with Den in them.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit and tragic. Like, that shouldn't be the case at all. Which is, and again, that's what I'm saying. If they make a season 2, it's going to be hard because you already whipped out Cad Bane, so anyone else that you whip out, like, is going to be very, like, not threatening, because we've already seen that Boba, like, handles these other bounty hunters pretty well. And Cad Bane is the only one that we've seen that would be an actual threat. So,
right.
I just feel like
I'm still holding on to hope that maybe we'll see Dengar or Bossk in the future as
but would they be? Would you, if they showed up? Would you think that they would be like an equal match to Boba at that point, though?
Yeah, I mean,
I would say like comic books and book Boba, fucking no way. But this Boba, a stormtrooper's a match for.
I guess that's true.
And who's to say they haven't also gone better? You know, like.
I think it's opened up.
It's been years, man. They could have gone just as skilled.
But but it just is so commonly shown that like they just get the shit beat out of them by Boba in the comics and shit like that. Like that. Like,
I think that's just because people had a boner for Boba, you know.
Well, for sure, but I just also think that like he is just leagues better than these other people. Like it's shown so commonly.
I think you said it best as well though. Like when like how like Legends shows like that's the legend of Boba Fett. This is the biography.
This is the reality of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I'd also
hate that so much.
Yeah, like I remember Sam saying like that would like make sense in that sense to me.
Yeah,
but I also
I don't know because like I'm a person that loved the old Boba too. Like where it was like I loved him being crazy badass. Like
because what it is now is we're seeing the filler and what it takes to like make a legend in the future. Like in Star Wars universe, they're gonna tell tales like Boba Fett like fended off the entire Pike Syndicate and defended Tatooine all by himself. That's a badass story. But if you list all the other bullshit, in reality, it's just like it sounds cool in a story, but like the reality of Boba Fett is he's just a dude now. You know, like.
So, pretty much, we haven't even like finished necessarily wrapping up the episode, but Boba like swept Cad Bane with the gaffy stick, killing him, and everyone's been.
I do like that they brought that back.
Everyone's been pointing out that Cad Bane's chest, there's the thing that's beeping still after he's laying there. I think he's fucking dead. But
I thought it was going to be like a predator bomb or something.
Yeah, like self-destruct on death, man. Just F you.
Yeah, the sweeping the Cad Bane fight was. I don't know how I feel about it because, like, on the one hand, it was cool to see Boba use the gaffy stick and do some cool shit for a second. On the other hand, it's like this is Cad Bane. Why on earth would he just get up in Boba's face like that? Like, that's not what Cad does. It's bizarre to me that he's gonna like stand right over Boba, who's much more physically intimidating than him, and just point a gun at him and expect it. And then Boba just like I guess whacks his arm. Like
yeah, it was very awkward looking. It was a very awkward movement.
It was a really weird thing, and it felt like they were just sort of giving it to Boba. I don't feel like Boba earned that kill at all.
That's because the fact, again, the Cad showed up only for like an episode and a bit. So he had no build-up to be like an actual character in that way. Again, if Mando didn't have those 2 episodes, we would have had potentially more Cad time.
Yeah.
We could have had more development for that character.
Like, if it was in like a whole episode focused on Cad Bane, like the same way they did the Mandalorian thing, like it's like there'd be like half an episode is focused on Cad Bane. Now we got another episode focused fully on Cad Bane. That would have been a lot better.
That would have actually made way more sense and been way more thematically in the show. And even showing flashbacks, like, I don't know how they're trying to, like, because he knocks his hat off, and you just plainly see the plate where, like, they're alluding to the fact that they had that fight before or whatever. So I'm like, the whole time, I'm just like, what is the deal with you two here? Like, what the hell is even going on?
What's your angle?
What's your angle, as Cad said, and we didn't get the angle. Oh, my God.
But did we get the dangle?
Oh, my God.
Fucking 0. Kills Cad Bane. No, Cad Bane should have died a long time ago. It's whatever, but
it just kind of felt like a member berry moment. Remember these two? Remember the deleted scene?
Yeah.
I feel like Cad Bane was kind of wasted. They did all that cool work to make him look good in live action, just to throw him away.
Throw him away.
It's just kind of a tragic.
It would have been
waste.
much more momentous occasion if they did tell the audience.
Like it
that
could have
there
been
was
the whole
something, you know?
thing. Could have been about how like Cad Bane's like basically hunting Boba, or like not hunting Boba, like he's been hired to like stop Boba being a problem for like the Pike Syndicate.
I would
and
say
the entire story be revolved around that.
Yeah,
I'd say that it'd be so cool if this entire season there was no Pikes, and let's just say that he had to deal with those 3 families, and he just had to. And at the end of the day, he killed them all or whatever, because they all suck. And then at the end of the show, the Pikes are like, "All right, he killed all those people. Now we can move in again." And we've hired Cad Bane. See you in season 2. That to me would feel better than what we got in this. Like I think if it had just been more centralized on that.
The Boba and Cad fight too. It had so much potential to be like the Obi-Wan Darth Maul fight from Rebels.
Yes,
where it could have been this this quick sort of poetic moment, and it looked more like a wrestling match. It was just not good.
Well, that and just like we'll say it again, but that animated deleted one did it better. Where there were the dramatic moments there and the tension in that scene way better than what we got here. Like a way more fitting end.
I can't help but feel a little bit worried that Dave Filoni is like our generation's George Lucas, where he starts off as like the guy that's doing the cool thing. And slowly we start to realize that he has no fucking clue what he's doing.
Well, because we deify these people. We're like, oh my god, like Dave Filoni knows what to do. He's the one that we must follow. Dave Filoni is a human being. Dave Filoni is
like, I think they should have more.
That's what I was saying. Like, I'm just so scared of him fucking up.
Yeah,
Dave Filoni.
There should be like a team of story writers.
There is actually, but then they just destroyed that. I think they got rid of it.
What the fuck?
They like literally when Rise of Skywalker was coming out, J.J. Abrams could have used the story team, and it would have fucking helped because that movie didn't make any goddamn sense. Like, I'm a person who's like, Force Awakens and Last Jedi, I can watch those and have a good time. Like, don't have a problem with those ones. Fucking Rise of Skywalker, holy shit.
Yeah, that's just an objectively bad movie.
That one, I have a fight between that one and Attack of the Clones is my least favorite Star Wars movie still to this day. But man,
yeah, I think Lucas was looked at as this same kind of way we're looking at Dave Filoni until the prequels, and now we're seeing Dave Filoni did his thing with Clone Wars and Rebels, and now Filoni is turning into prequel era Lucas, where it's like, oh fuck, what are you doing?
Well, because like the same thing happened where everyone was like, oh, he knows what he's doing, he loves this stuff, and then no one says no to him because he has the idea that he knows everything, and they're like, yeah, that's a great idea, let's do that, put it in. No, you need people to say no. Like
when I'm sure there's a weird power dynamic too between the egos of Filoni and Robert Rodriguez on the set of this show, where I'm sure they're like, who's really in charge here? Is it Rodriguez as the director? Because the best damn episode of the entire season was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, really. Wait, sorry, which one was that? What episode?
Oh, that was the first Mando episode.
Okay, so I would say, sorry. The problem is I don't even count those episodes when I think of the show. Because I literally would say my favorite episode is episode 2, like the train one.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite episode.
That one was really nice,
Holy crap. But yeah, then the Mando stuff, I loved the first one too,
Yeah,
I love the Mando. I don't love them as Boba Fett.
Yeah. That's what I would say. She did a
I
great job with that episode, though.
We got
it was a really good episode.
Vizsla use an energy shield on his armor. I'm just glad to see that because it was fucking cool. Even though it was useless, that was neat. But I hated this show, guys. I hated it.
I
can understand why.
Saying meh. And that's so sad because I'm a huge Boba Fett fan. I loved the idea when I saw in Mando season 2.
I've waited my whole life for this.
Oh, fucking hell. Like, he's going to become the criminal underworld leader. That's a cool idea. And then they kind of just fumbled the whole way.
Dude, I'm a big comic book nerd, and like I feel like I've waited my whole life to see a Batman versus Superman movie and a Boba Fett movie or show, and I got both in my lifetime, and they both sucked.
And they both were fumbled hard.
W.
Yeah, because like even at the very
think
end, oh my god! Like one of the last lines of the show was literally Boba talking to Fennec, saying like, should we even be doing this?" And I'm like, I think you should have figured that out a while ago, buddy.
Yeah, he was like, we're not really all for this line work. Like, bro, this was like just a split-second decision you decided to make.
What the fuck is
Well, that also
this?
makes me wonder, like, again, what is Boba's angle? Because even at the end of the show, it's very clear that, like, even Boba's like, what the fuck? What am I doing here?
Like, what are we doing?
What am I doing? Anyway,
Yeah.
I think we should wrap it up now, guys.
Hold up. So yeah, he has the respect of the city. His arm hurts. Because he got shot to shit in his arm specifically. I'm like, okay.
He can't bow that much. He's gonna end up being like Tony Stark, where he just keeps on getting injured in the arm.
Mando tried to stop the Rancor, but failed. Grogu managed to stop it with the Force. I did like that a little bit. I was like, cool beans. But again,
that was cute.
There are things in this show where I'm like, damn fucking God, just happened in another show.
Get the Force users out of my Mandalorian stuff.
Yes. Well, I mean, keep it in the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Honestly, I love the Mandalorian simply because it showed that you don't need fucking Jedi in this shit, dude.
You say that, but literally, like, his whole thing was that I have to take this baby back to the Jedi.
Yeah, but it showed that you didn't need them, man. Like, you could have taken Baby Yoda, like, you could have removed the whole, like, he's Force sensitive thing, and still would have been awesome.
I still think that, like,
wiped out the whole point of Mando season 2.
Next season.
Yeah, season 2, but the season 1, you know?
Next season, I totally am calling it now. They're going to go to both Mandalore and Baby Yoda's home planet. We're going to fucking find out.
We're going to see an army of Yodas, and they're all Force sensitive and all have mini lightsabers.
That's been seriously one of the biggest questions in Star Wars forever. Is like, what the hell is up with Yoda's race? Like, we never...
What the hell is he? And they're going to be like, oh, these are the Glorbecks.
Is the Yoda? Who did Yoda smash?
Yaddle.
Yeah.
Was it Yaddle?
It's got to be Yaddle, man.
And they're not going to say it, but it was.
Midichlorians are passed down through the genes.
Because, like, he's, like, 50 years old. I think that's prime time for, like, Yoda and Yaddle to have, like, banged it out.
Yeah, they've probably been on the council together for, like, a century at least, maybe more.
Well, in the High Republic era, they show that, I don't know what the word was. I hated it when they used it. It's something like Yoda is on like leave. I forget what the word is, but he's like on leave from the council, just doing his like walk.
Sabbatical.
Sabbatical. Yeah. That was the word they used, and they actually used that. I hate.
They actually used it.
Yoda
goes on a sabbatical.
Oh my god! Thank you, AJ. They actually said that, and I was like, he's not. He's on a
Yoda
fucking
goes
Jedi
on
walkabout, is what you say, you idiots.
Yeah, it's like a comic book where like Batman's fighting some world-ending threat, and you're just like, "Where is Superman?" And they're like, "Oh, he
took a break.
He's somewhere else."
Oh my god, I would be okay with it if they'd been like, "Oh yeah, Yoda's on fucking walkabout." No, they said he's on sabbatical. Like, no, that's not what that is. God damn it. I already said the last shot of the episode is Mandalorian Grogu. Pisses me off so goddamn much.
The Naboo fighter's cool though.
The Naboo, it's cool and all, but I just don't understand what his goal is going forward either. Where it's like, are you a bounty hunter?
If he's still a bounty hunter, that ship ain't gonna work, bro.
That's true.
Oh, Sam popping off right now. Yeah, Braden, I'm mad about that shit. It's ridiculous.
Yes, feelings.
Cobb Vanth in the back to tank at the very end. Cool beans. Probably see him later in Mando season 3.
Don't care. Don't care about
I loved Cobb Vanth in season 2 of Mandalorian. Loved him so much.
It was so weird to me. They kept saying like, "Oh, you should have let Cobb Vanth keep the armor." I think they said it like 3 times.
Yeah, I was like, we get it.
We know.
Like, god damn, dude.
Fuck,
yeah, in retrospect, you know, if I could go back in time, I'll do it. I'll give him back his fucking armor.
God damn, Cat, shut up.
Yeah, Boba's just like, "Oh, I'm here too."
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other thoughts that I have on the show. But again, like, it's so, like, minuscule and...
So much of the show just kind of fades out after I watch the episode. Like, I was actually worried because I watched the episode much earlier than I think you guys probably did. And by the time we got to this, I was like, fuck, let me look at my notes because I already forgot.
I usually watch it twice. We watch it at midnight, and then I watch it with Kaz the next day, so...
I don't think I could watch this episode twice.
I know, when I watched it, I was like, oh god. And it's an hour long, it's the longest episode, and you're like, dude, I don't know if I can do this. Didn't like the moment when Cad,
dude.
I like that Jacob in chat right now. Didn't like the moment when blank Cad Bane died. Didn't like that moment.
I was alright with him dying. It was gonna happen.
No.
Bro, he was gonna fucking keel over from old age. Like,
Sure. But like maybe in season 2, maybe. I just, it was too fucking quickly. Too quick.
The real book of Boba Fett were the friends we made along the way.
That's actually not wrong to the fucking message of the show, pretty much. Right? Like the last shot where it was Boba and like Chrysanthemum and the mods like standing there, I was like, if they end this shit right here, I'm gonna be so mad because this looks so stupid.
Yeah, I like that shit. Like, it was so dumb. Like, Chrysanthemum, are you gonna share that melon with us? And they start fucking laughing. Shut the fuck up, you dumbass mods.
In Rise of Skywalker, when they all come back from Exegol and they're all like hugging and they're like so happy, and then I remember I was so scared at this point. The screen starts fading to black, and my ass expected credits at that point. I just was like, if that's how this fucking movie ends, I'm gonna lose my mind, because this is literally the exact same ending as Return of the Jedi, and I already don't like that ending for reasons, but like, fuck.
They ended the show on a freeze frame. I mean, kinda.
Yeah, they may as well have had them all like jump up and high five.
I would have loved
Man, this
that.
is a great family, guys.
Right? I mean, like Boba and his like herd of teenagers, they feel like the fucking Planeteers, and he's like Captain Planet.
Oh,
It's
true.
so stupid.
We got their Santon, the leader of Earth.
At least they unceremoniously killed off all the other mods, except for those two.
Did
The rest
they?
of them are dead, and they didn't. They all got
looks like they're
killed.
all gone. Yeah.
Oh, wow,
And they didn't
okay.
say jack shit about it. Like, they were getting blasted left and right, and you're like, oh, there goes the blue one. Okay.
Now combine those other Vespas into your Vespas, make a bigger Vespa, so at least it looks like something else. Like, I can't deal
They
with this
can make
thing,
a
dude.
Megazord out of all of them.
It's got like 50 rear view mirrors, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like, what are we doing?
You know, like in Grand Theft Auto, the scooter, you could outfit it with like actually like 50 mirrors, like they have in that, just as a joke. Bro, that wasn't taken seriously.
Yeah, like, don't do that just cuz. Like, what are we doing? It showed that, like, hey, those guys had rear view mirrors, but the fucking Nikto Speedriders, when Boba came in to shoot the shit out of them, really, they probably could have used some of those.
Imagine like the one guy who does have mirrors, like,
Guys, there's a fucking slave one coming up behind us. Oh, fucking hell. Anyone else have anything they want to say about this?
I have nothing else to say.
I have
I'm
nothing
thoroughly
else.
disappointed.
I have nothing else to say to you.
Disappointed, I think, is the perfect.
Yep.
I'm not disappointed. I'm just disappointed.
I'll have you guys know, Connor, since he's not here, Connor gave this episode a 10 out of 10. So if he had been here, it would have been a very different show.
I wouldn't give it that
positive.
high. I would say like a 7 or an 8 for me.
It had likable bits. I think like 5 to 6 is where I'd put it at most.
Maybe,
like it had moments where
maybe
like,
four. Maybe
Yeah.
4 out of 10 for me, and that's only because at least Boba Fett still lives.
Damn, Richard, why are you so fucking brutal?
I can't help it. It's in the name.
At least he showed up and said things in this episode, so like that's a bonus.
The last two episodes where he shows up and doesn't say a
Loki-
damn
which
thing. Oh,
I thought you were talking
my.
about Richard there. I'm like, what the hell, man?
No.
Because I felt called out.
Why do you feel called that? What do you mean? What did I even say?
Because I feel like I never speak on this, and then like when I do, it's like,
Yes, I think you should just leave this to the big boys, please.
exactly.
You don't watch the show, Kaz. So
Like I get
like,
pity invited. I watched the show.
Yeah, Kaz hasn't even seen Star Wars. Like, why would you invite
like-
him on this?
we love his personality. He's the most beautiful of all of us.
He's here for the looks. You're just here for the eye candy, bro.
Yeah.
It's the second deal. Yeah. I was catching myself during this episode, like being quiet every now and then to let Kaz speak, so that we're not just like nerding out the whole time and not letting
Yeah.
Kaz say anything.
Oh, don't
No,
worry.
look,
This guy got nothing to say.
Yeah. that is it. Though, like there's like I think this is the most spoken on like this entire fucking podcast.
I don't know if that's true. I think there was one episode earlier.
I think
you had a rant at one point about the episode, and you actually liked episode 2 a lot, and you talked a lot about how it was Very positive
felt
prequel-y.
yeah, like that was the color. Yeah, 2 felt like what like episode 1 wanted to be, and
Yes!
then 3 spat all over
I
it.
remember that, yeah.
And 3 was like why like 3 was the least Star Wars thing I've ever seen. In my
Yeah,
life.
we went from loving that second episode to being like, oh, the Vespa gang really fucking took me out of
They
this.
are so fucking bad.
Oh my
Best
god.
gangs coming in.
Yeah, I was sitting there with like a drink in my hand, and like I was eating chips when that episode aired, and I remember like stopping, and I held on to one chip for like 15 minutes just watching that dumb shit Vespa chase scene and just thinking to myself like, what in the fuck am I watching right now?
Yeah.
I didn't even get to
know,
bring it up. Oh my god, in this episode, the fucking
Oh yeah.
the Vespa gang guy, they show up, coming in, fucking wipes out immediately, and like, I thought he was
them.
gonna die. I thought he was straight up dead right there. I was like, that's a great
That
way.
boy moved the fastest he's ever moved in the whole show.
I wish
Wiped
Cad
out
Bane
because
hit-
of it.
I wish the time
hit
they were like
50
when they
miles an
revealed
hour.
Cad Bane is when they hit them.
Yo,
So Rich
why
was-
didn't Cad Bane use his jet boots?
Why didn't Cad Bane do anything?
Yeah, he literally,
He's old.
like you said, Richard, he showed up just to walk around corners and be like, I'm here.
Yep, and then talk all cool, and then
Boom,
die, I
motherfucker.
guess.
With his soothing, gravelly voice.
Well, I don't know, man. His
Boom,
voice was great, but
motherfucker.
if you've ever seen the extended edition of the Lord of the Rings, where like they show the mouth of Sauron, like that's all I could think
That's
of.
what
when I'm
I
watching
was thinking
that.
that the
Yeah.
whole time
I-
too.
No, that's it. Yeah,
Mouth
you
moving.
could not look at it. You could not look anywhere but his mouth. But
Yeah.
I love that. Like
They made his
His,
mouth
like,
very
it's really
like,
yeah, like. But that's what I want. You know, that's like that. Like I feel like I fit him.
Yeah.
The only time I wasn't looking at like his teeth was when I was looking at either his hat
He
or his
should have had
fucking
a,
like
this is such a
tails.
small thing. He should have had a toothpick in his mouth.
I was
just
thinking
saying.
that too. Like that would have like brought him from like a 9 out of 10 to a perfect 10 out of 10 if they just gave him a
10
damn
out of 10.
toothpick.
Give the damn boy a toothpick and he'll look perfect.
Mm.
That's
His
all
boy
he
needs a
needs.
toothpick in his mouth.
Like I'm literally trying to think of other things to say for the grace of this show.
Dude, I'm done with Star Wars.
No,
All right.
I'm definitely not done with Star Wars. I mean, I for
I'm
one
quitting
am
Star
very
Wars
excited
after
for the
this time.
Obi-Wan show,
Yeah.
but
Well, I'm gonna complain about how I'm done with Star Wars until the next show or movie.
Until-
for
Yeah.
sure, yeah. No, I get
And then
you.
hopefully you guys will have me back on and I'll be in here talking to you about it again.
No,
If
you
you're
said
watching-
you're done with Star Wars. We don't want you back.
If you're watching Obi-Wan, I mean, hell yeah, we'll have you on for sure. But
Yeah,
and I guess Bad Batch
this
season
is
2,
better.
whenever that comes out. But
Special guest appearance by
I
Little
swear
Richard.
to God, guys, because like I know that they said, well, I know that we've heard rumors or whatever for the Obi-Wan show, but Hayden Christensen's fuck, I can't say his name right now.
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen showing up, and I hope to God that's only like a Force battle or a Force Vision battle or some shit like that. But
Yeah.
Or like a back.
it
Uh,
straight up
the-
sounds. It straight up sounds like that Obi-Wan is going off of Tatooine in the show, which is so jarring to me that I figured that Boba Fett.
I
show
think
would
they
be-
realized that they don't want to fucking be on Tatooine anymore.
Okay, but that's why, AJ, that maybe Boba's show shouldn't have been all on Tatooine,
They really shouldn't have not put. They,
Like,
they
I
should
get
have
that
taken
he
that
died
shit
here.
off Tatooine.
quote unquote. But like, go away, go somewhere
Yes.
else.
Yeah,
Go to
I'm
another
sure they'll,
sand
uh,
planet.
They'll do a thing
think-
too. Well, they'll show Obi-Wan in like
Go
a
to
robe,
Jakku.
on Tatooine, and he'll see like Boba Fett in the distance, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go somewhere else," and that'll be the end of that.
I remember like I think like I said this I think on one of the podcasts like I completely forgot what the timeline was. And so I assumed like Obi-Wan happened after Boba Fett. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be so cool. And then everyone's like, Kaz.
Not that way.
Obi-Wan died like 6-7 years ago.
I
Man,
just hope. To
I think this
God-
could have been. This could have been like just like him just going on bounty hunter, like how Mandalorian is like him just going on adventures. It could have been that. Like I would have been happy.
Little adventures and then them all coming together in the final episode.
Well, like a grander, like underworld adventure kind of thing, like seeing the syndicates, seeing the Black Sun, seeing.
If they do season 2, I think they should take it to Coruscant.
I think
and then
that's a huge jump, but sure.
Back to my
Nar Shaddaa. I want Nar Shaddaa.
give
Damn it!
me season 2's bad guys as Black Sun. Let's get Prince. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Caesar. How do you pronounce that one?
Ali.
Give me Prince Caesar of Black Sun in here. I know that he died in the Shadow of the Empire thing, but that hasn't been canon or whatever. So, please, someone cool, because The hell are we doing here?
I hope it's not like The Godfather. Like going back to the Godfather thing, like because like to me this felt like as I mentioned, I wanted to be The Godfather. I think this should have been like Goodfellas, but then I feel like season 2 could fix everything. Could fix a lot, I think.
It could,
but they might just make it Godfather 3.
Season 2. Here's my request for season 2: 0 Mandalorian episodes, 0 of that, and just
Impossible,
give
I
me
think.
Boba Fett.
None of it.
Just please give me Boba Fett doing his criminal syndicate shit. That's all I
You
need.
get nothing.
If we even get a season 2, you're correct. So far
I
on
don't
the
think we
slate,
will.
there's like a million other
I
shows.
think-
There's like Ahsoka, Andor, which is like a show nobody asked for, I think.
And what?
Andor,
Remember that
which
one
is like
guy?
Cassian
Remember
Andor
that
is
one
a
guy
character
from
for-
Rogue One?
He's
Remember
getting
how
a show,
cool he was?
apparently.
I
Remember
think,
when he blew up?
I think that other show. I think I can't remember what it was. It was
Rangers
like,
of the New Republic.
not that one. Like Rogue Squadron or something. I
Oh,
don't
the
know.
movie, yeah, Rogue Squadron. That's going to be made by
yeah.
what's her nuts? That made
With
Patty
Bucky
Jenkins.
Squadron.
Patty Jenkins got
Hey.
pulled off the project.
She got pulled off of that.
Yeah, they booted her.
I
Got
can't
who?
see that being true. That was like that sounds.
No, I swear they took her
Who
off
got-
the project.
I
All
think that,
can
I don't
assume
think
is
that,
it's-
I think she stepped away from it temporarily is what they said, that she's just not, they're not doing it yet. That's what I thought I heard. Because it sounded like when they put her in the promo for that not the teaser or whatever for it, she sounded like it was a huge passion project for her. Like it was almost that she wanted to do that movie more so.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it seemed like she was really into it, but Wonder Woman 84 has made me lose all faith for Patty Jenkins.
I don't know if I'm gonna like fault that on. I wouldn't use one movie to demean something like that, especially if it's like a superhero movie in the DC franchise. I think that a lot of those are like so problematically made. So
They haven't agreed on a script yet. I think that's what I'm getting. She's still directing.
She's still directing, as long as they pull her off of writing. Because that, my understanding is that was the problem. Was Wonder Woman the first one? Patty Jenkins directed, but she didn't write it, and the second one she wrote and directed.
I also just have to. I would say that it would just be so different, just because it's in Star Wars, and that is like that's a ground for making like a really interesting story thing like that, because people will forgive you. I guess they won't forgive you, because this fandom is kind of crazy.
They
but
will not forgive you.
This
Not
fandom's
this
kind of
fandom.
toxic at times.
If you do the right things, they'll forgive the bullshit. Is what I'm saying. Is more so what I'm saying. Like the original trilogy, you could really nitpick those movies if you wanted to, but they're really like cool as fuck and well done. So
And now people love
nobody
the prequels.
yeah. So that just goes to show you that time will change everything. So
If you make bad movies, but then make even worse movies later on, people will love the bad ones.
that
There
makes
you
me
go.
so
That's the
scared
trend.
for what the next 3 movies will be like. 'Cause holy shit.
They're gonna have Spider-Man in them.
Or it's gonna cross over to the MCU.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up here then. Thank you so much, Richard, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
thanks
gotta
for
watch
having me.
Vox Machina now.
Oh, I
We're
forgot
gonna,
about that. Oh boy.
Are we doing that? Are we doing
gonna
that
have more
tomorrow?
Richard.
We're streaming that tomorrow. That's what I was gonna. Yeah, I was leading into that. So tomorrow we are gonna be doing a similar type of stream to this. It's gonna be focused on the legends of Vox Machina, because we're all big D&D fans here, and I'm not really big in. I mean, I don't watch Campaign 1 a Critical Role, so
But we got McBi coming in. McBisexual. You've seen her probably in chat,
yeah. So she's gonna have her McClunky Squadron debut,
and she's gonna be like the brains of the operation. I've seen a little bit. I know a little bit about it, so I'm gonna be there. Sam doesn't know quite a lot about
I
it
don't
at
know.
all. So
I've watched
he's gonna-
animatics of season of Critical
he's
Role
gonna
1.
be he's gonna be like the fresh face in all
Yeah.
of this, so it's gonna be real nice.
The only thing I know is that
he's-
Keyleth jumped from a cliff and died. That's the only
I hope
thing
they
I
do
know.
show that.
I
they do show
really
that,
hope
man.
they show that too.
That might be very later on in the show,
I will
You're
wait.
gonna.
because I think it was like when she was higher level. Because clearly she thought she was strong enough to be a god and jump off a cliff.
I like how she could have wild shaped it into fucking a bird.
Anything but turned into a fish.
Turn into a goldfish, like lady. So yeah, that'll be Thursday, and then on Friday we're gonna be doing the Terrifying Territories of Roro
we're
at 6
stacking up
p.m. PST. That one will be the last one for that week, and then the week after is not gonna be D&D because Fan Expo is happening.
Oh, we're gonna do a live stream of Fan Expo.
I was thinking we should do some cool content or something like that. Like if
We
did,
should
like,
do maybe something, but I don't know.
I don't know what we'd do.
I don't know what we do
Like,
either.
let's just film our time on a shitty iPhone camera, and then just be like,
Yeah.
"Ah, it's a video." I don't know. That's what people do, right?
That's what people did back in 2012.
Nailed it.
McClunky.
Yeah. We're gonna raid into
We got
Beans
let's see,
and
Dork
Beans
Friends.
Tales,
and Friends. Let's go.
Beans
Yeah.
and Friends.
They're playing D&D. They've got some really fucking cool art, and I think you'll.
Oh, wait.
Especially.
Courtney just went live.
I already got it in there, man.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So thank you again, Richard. I know I said that already, but yeah, you're a blast. You're a fun guy.
You're a bean.
Yeah, whatever. Bye.
Yeah, this
You're
guy's
a great
this guy's
egg.
a
Love
jerk,
you,
but I love him.
Richard.
Yeah, he's
I
an egg.
go-
Everyone,
Go check out
Can we
his
get
channel.
egg in chat, please?
Check out his Twitch. Throw
let me
eggs
get-
at him if you want, because that's his whole thing. You can bully him in his chat. He'll bully you back.
That is the most fun I've ever had in a chat in
It's-
my life. I'm not
Is
gonna lie.
talking shit at him? Yeah, dude.
I see.
I know. I said that and I felt immediate pain in my heart. I'm sorry, Kaz. I,
It's,
didn't,
no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I loved it. though.
Literally,
I
bro,
love you.
Richard, best Twitch I've ever seen.
Honestly, yeah, no, like that's straight up though. Like I don't watch a lot of streams, but like Richard's one of the streams that I will take time to understand.
It's really
Yeah.
funny.
It's so
it's
good.
hard to watch streams when you stream.
Yeah. And the production is just
Yeah, like if you
Stunning.
love VTuber type stuff, like the rigged character that Richard has is fucking wow.
But not like anime, because I'm a
Yeah.
non-anime. I don't even like anime. So keep your dumb shit to yourself.
it's funny that like that's the association there because like most VTubers that I've seen are not like anime ones. They're just like
I
they're
don't-
cartoon characters like you got
I
Yeah,
feel
like
like they're
your
more
egg.
anime.
Which is definitely an egg. And
Really?
nothing
They're all
else.
anime?
I find a lot of them are more anime. Like I
Yeah,
was
like
like,
Only the really
anime.
popular
Yeah.
ones.
Skjorn, someone that the Flooful microwave and Flooful butt.
Yeah.
Those guys. Skjorn uses a really cool like VTuber thing. I wouldn't say it's anime. It's more like furry, but it's like robotic furry. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's cool. I like it. I'd consider doing that with the pixel art thing. So that'd be a cool thing in the future. But yeah,
right, there we go.
Raid into.
oh, here's our raid message.
McClinky.
McClinky.
McLean.
Oh no.
The raid is starting. I loved the end with Grogu and the Rancor. It was good, It was good. Good last.
Dude, I
message
can't believe
to
the
you.
Rancor ate Grogu. That was insane.
I know. Sad times.
Sag.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, we love you so much. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate all of your support.
Yeah, subscribe.
Also, if
I
you're
don't
watching
love
here-
you, but subscribe anyway.
Richard
He's
does
lying,
love you. He's
Richard.
lying. Yeah, he's
It's a bean.
Richard is
We,
so.
I've
you
never
said
saw
our
him
chat
not-
is sensitive, Richard. Jesus.
I can't express to you guys enough how much of a bean Richard is. So actually, how much of an
Yeah.
egg Richard is.
Call him funny, cute names. He loves
There is
that.
another thing. We've
What's the
got
other
a
thing?
Civs. McClunky Squadron's hosting the next part of our world building project.
Do we know
which
when that's gonna
includes
be?
Richard. Not yet, because we haven't got a date, but that's soon. And there'll be links to a playlist with all the YouTubes for all of them. Because I'm
All right.
thinking that.
Yeah, expect that in the next couple weeks. I'd say it's usually on a Saturday. Like, do we always do it? On
It is
Saturday?
Saturdays, yeah. Or
Yeah, it'll
Saturdays
be
are
on
good.
one of the Saturdays coming up. So we'll definitely mention it on the day after a Terrifying Territories Aurora stream. So
All right.
we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
McClunky.
Bye.
McClunky.
McClunky.
Blanky.
That's a very cute McClunky, Richard.